Scott for SKELETONWITCH. And how's the tour going so far?
It's been great so far. On tour with us are Mortals from Brooklyn and Goat from New Orleans. And touring with Goat is like touring with family. We've known those guys for so long.
Oh, okay.
They're like brothers to us. And now that we're near the end of tour, I think Mortals are like sisters to us. So it's a big it's a big weird family, and it's awesome. Shows have been great.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
Sounds cool. And did you also party a little bit on tour?
Just a little. You can probably tell by looking at me. I probably look like I'm dead. No, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and how does a day off look like for SKELETONWITCH?
What's that?
A day off?
I don't know what that is. We had two at the beginning of this tour, and then no more days off.
All right.
We tend to not have very many days off. One time we did in the U.S. 65 shows in 63 days. In this we're gonna do 39 shows in 37 days or something. We're gonna do 2 shows a day. We're gonna do 37 shows in 39 days, I think. So days off are just, they don't exist really.
Yeah, I read on your homepage that you're touring all the time, and when you're at home, you're writing music all the time, and that there's no time off when you're in the witch. Is that true?
That is true. I mean, but it is. We do this because we love it. So it's a labor of love. So while we're home, even when it's technically time off, we're finding new T-shirt designs. We're booking more tours. We're writing music. We're planning who we're going to take on the next tour. Or talking to the label about who we'll record with, or rehearsing. So there's always something to be done. So this is our full-time job, and so it's great though. I would not rather be doing anything else.
I think a few months ago you were saying that Chance Burnett had to leave the band because of ethical issues. Is that right?
Yeah, he made a statement online about from his side of things, and we've chosen not to say anything. It's just it's sad when bands air dirty laundry and say bad things about each other. So we chose to just. So unfortunately, I'm not going to comment on it. And he said what he wanted to, and I'll let that stand. And he can say his side, and we'll keep our side to ourselves, because it doesn't benefit anybody to talk about it. It really doesn't. And sometimes things change, unfortunately, and shit happens, and we just gotta worry more about the future and not think about the past and what could have been done differently, or So unfortunately, yeah, that's the way it is. So. Moving forward, we'll see what happens, because we still don't know exactly what will happen ourselves. But that's not necessarily a bad thing either. Sometimes change is good.
So maybe there could be a comeback of Chance or not?
I doubt it. Yeah, I highly doubt that. But and so we don't know moving forward what Nate and I will still write all the music, and someone else will scream over it.
Nate, I think, is his brother.
Yes.
Brother of Chance. Was this a special problem because of the family situation?
I imagine so. Though I can't really speak for Nate, but it's always tough when family's involved. So yeah, I'm sure that weighs heavily on Nate, and probably speaks about the situation too without any comment.
For this tour, you replaced Chance with Andy Björn. What did you come up with him, and will he be the singer in the future too?
We don't know. We decided to just wait until this tour was completely over, and we got home and listened to the material we wrote, and all had a minute away, and then we would talk to Andy and see if he even wants to. So we all just agreed, come do this tour, and then we won't talk about it until we get in the future, until we get home. So it's up in the air. But we've known Andy for a very long time. One of the first shows we ever played, with his band Battlemaster from Richmond. So we've known Andy for 10 years maybe. And Cannabis Corpse, he sang on there. He was the original singer for Cannabis Corpse, and we took them out on tour in the U.S. So we've known him for a long, long time. So he was an easy choice. Good guy, good vocalist, really fun dude, crazy guy. I love him. So we'll see what happens in the future. But he's doing a fantastic job on this tour. And it's not easy to step up to the plate like that and try to fill someone else's shoes who's been in the band this long. And Chance is a very good frontman, so it's a difficult task, and he's doing a great job. And no matter what, even if he was like Freddie Mercury, people would be like, "Fuck you." Whereas Chance, people don't like change, so it's So he really is. It shows a lot of balls to do what he's doing, and he's doing a great job.
But the overall reaction of the audience was pretty good, I think. No?
Yeah, I agree. There's been a lot of reviews out there that say as much, you know, and I feel good about it, and so do the rest of the guys as far as this tour goes. So, I mean, most importantly, it sounds selfish, but that's what we care most about is presenting what we want to. And if we feel good about it, we hope other people like it, but if they don't, we're not going to change to accommodate that. Because once we start doing stuff that we don't feel comfortable with, and we're doing shit for other reasons and for other people, not ourselves, everything gets tainted. And from the writing to the touring, and it's just the wrong way to go about things. So if we feel okay with it, we'll keep going, keep doing it.
And let's talk about the very beginning a little bit. You started right after school. Could you explain a little how was it back then?
But yeah, Nate and I were students, and we met through my sister, who was dating his friend, and she said, "You gotta meet this dude. He's hilarious. You love him. You guys would get along great." And we did, and we both loved metal more than we did going to class. So as soon as I finished school, we pretty much just, we pieced the band together. He already had some material, I helped write some more, and we got songs together, found members. And then I finished school, and basically it's been like black t-shirt, white van, since then, and just toured nonstop.
And how did you get into metal, or can you remember your first metal show you've been to?
Yeah, my brother took me for my either 14th or 15th birthday to see Slayer.
Alright.
Yeah, and so it's his fault, essentially. And then he gave me, but even more, that started it, and then he started giving me records like Alice Cooper albums and MC5 and the Stooges, and that really, like Detroit rock and roll sound, really put me over the edge.
And you already toured with big names like Jerome Bowden, Mars, John Cowboy, and now you're the headliner. And what's the biggest difference?
Well, you gotta. You play longer sets. You got to make sure you keep it together, be more rehearsed and tighter. When you're playing for 20 minutes or 30 minutes before a larger opening band, you have to really be on your game and make sure everything's timed out right, and you don't go over your time. It's a little more loose when you're headlining because you kind of do what you want. When you're opening for somebody else, they let you know when you fuck up, and they let you know right away. They have usually a tour manager that's kicking you in the ass off the stage if you take too long. So it's different. You get to run the show when you're headlining, and that's fun. And
Is it better?
No, I mean, not necessarily, because opening for a band like Amon Amarth, there's going to be many more people. I mean, they're just more popular than we are, of course. So it's crazy to play in front of these huge crowds, and then when you headline, you hope some of those people from that show come back to see you the next time, and you see how well you did. So you kind of can tell how well you did at an Amon Amarth show when you come back and headline the same place by yourself. And last time I think we did pretty good. In the U.S., because a lot more people came out next time we toured on our own. Both are good.
Yeah. Awesome.
I think on this tour, you are the tour manager. Do you like to kick asses?
No, I'm not good at it. I'm not. You can probably tell how much I smile. I'm not a huge ass kicker. But if we have to, sometimes you have to. But everybody on this tour really knows what they're doing, and everyone's older. There's no, 19-year-old. We're all old, so everyone knows how to use a watch, a clock, and a cell phone alarm. They can wake up on time. They know what to do. I don't have to chase people around and wrangle cats. It's like herding cats. But everyone knows what they're doing, and it's pretty professional, so it's easy. So I haven't been put in a position where I have to get mad.
Let's come to a personal topic. Is it right that you have a bachelor degree in journalism?
Yes, it's true.
Where from do you have the interest for this job?
I've always been very inquisitive. I ask a lot of questions. So I guess that's the only place I could do it where it didn't annoy people. Pretty much. And I like to write as well. But I haven't done it much since school, because the band. I made a decision to not enter the job market and take a professional job after college and pursue the band full time, and I haven't stopped since then, so I really haven't done time to write much.
Did you ever regret your decision?
No, Absolutely not. I mean, right now I'm sitting in Vienna, Austria. This is our 7th or 8th tour of Europe, and it's crazy. If I would have taken the job to write for Ohio Magazine, I would just be sitting around in Ohio writing about, like, I don't know, restaurants, travel magazine, which is okay, but this suits me much more.
Or you could be an investigative journalist.
Yeah,
traveling around the world.
Yeah, I could be doing. That's true. I could be doing that too. But I also would be sad that I wasn't playing music. So with this, I get to travel and write music, create, and then perform in front of people as well. So it suits me much better. I think.
Back in the days, what goal did you have being a journalist? Would you love to be a music journalist or the hard news section, or what did you want to do?
I was more hard news. I don't really like to mix business and pleasure, and for me, music is fun and it's creative. And I for a moment I thought, oh, I love music. Maybe I should write about it. And the little bit I did, I hated it because I got assigned things I didn't like, and I had to write reviews for stuff that I didn't care about. And I very quickly stopped doing it because I realized it was making me not enjoy something that for me was enjoyable. When your like favorite hobby or something creative and interesting becomes a job, it sucks. Yeah, which is why like going back to how we don't want to change things in a way that for in the band just to please other people, then it would feel like a job because we're doing this for someone else, not for ourselves. So in that same sense, that's what it felt like when I started doing music journalism for just a little bit. Yeah, no fun.
Did you see yourself as an anchor man back in the days?
I probably would have. I'm probably too. I don't know. I have a good face for radio, as one of my professors told me. I probably would have went more the NPR route on the National Public Radio rather than putting my face anywhere. Yeah.
The album Serpents Unleashed, what's your favorite song on that?
Oh man. Beneath Dead Leaves.
Alright.
Yeah.
And are you songwriting in the moment? Or after this tour?
Yeah, we've already written some material for the next record. There's some already completed, and that's the next priority. As soon as we get home, is just continue writing, and then make a decision on what we want to do as far as the vocals go for the music. And the way we've always written it though is we basically, Nate and I and Evan write demos, and everyone listens to those, and then we gather and we rehearse. So we've always written the music first, so even though we need to make a decision as far as the vocalist, and we will, it doesn't really impede the writing process because it always, since the beginning, it started with the music. So.
Alright. And what elements shouldn't be missed on a Skeletonwitch song? What is very important?
What element? I don't know. We have a mix of styles there's some black metal and some death metal and thrash, of course, and rock and roll in there too. So we don't really, we try not to think it out too much. Good thing you didn't see that. Maybe it sounds a little bit like I don't know, caveman or something, or atavistic, but we don't try to think. We don't want to overthink the writing process. We tend to write more with our hearts and our balls than we do with our brains, I guess. For better or for worse.
Well, if it works.
Cracking Leslie up with that one. Yeah, like if Nate sends me some songs or riffs or whatever and ideas, and you get that feel, like that tingly feeling, or it touches you, or you get excited, or something, it does something. I care more about that than, well, Nate, that was kind of a little bit too thrashy. Maybe you should put some death metal in it. And I'll email him fuck that.
Okay.
I don't care what it sounds like if I like it and if he likes it. It doesn't matter.
And what is important for a metal live show, in your opinion?
I think energy and excitement. There's nothing worse than watching a band who looks bored. Why do I want to spend my extra money to go watch a band who looks like they're bored doing what they do? Or, and sort of along those lines, that are too concerned with technique. Like, don't get me wrong, you should know how to play your instrument to a degree, but you sometimes see these guys with the guitar neckties,
that looks so stupid.
and they're they should just sit down in chairs and play because it's so technical. It's not even human anymore. It's not even fun. Like less Steve Vai and more Iggy Pop and the Stooges for a live show. Is what I say. I play like crap all the time.
You play like crap all the time.
You're just kidding. No, I know. No, but I don't care if I plink a few notes in the interest of having a good time rather than We're not building rocket ships. We're at a rock and roll show.
This tour you are playing with the Mortals, three-piece girl band from Brooklyn, I think. How do you have to change your behavior to
No, the best thing is one of them sitting in their room. No, I mean, honestly, for the most part, we didn't. I mean, they know they play in a band and they've toured and they know what's up, and it doesn't matter what parts you have. We're all just in metal bands and hanging out. So I mean, it hasn't changed. I was gonna say some stuff, but I'll just like I was gonna give details, but no.
Farting around.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of farting around, figuratively and literally.
Is it right that you were banned from the House of Blues someday?
Yeah, that's true. We were on tour with Amon Amarth and Enslaved, and they wouldn't let us play, and they don't tell you why. They just say that our band was deemed too offensive. Mm-hmm. But they don't tell you if it was like lyrics or a T-shirt or something we said in an interview. And it's happened to a lot of bands, and it's weird because we weren't allowed to play there. Machine Head once got banned there. Somebody else, like Warbringer or something. And then they let Cradle of Filth play there, and they have like that Jesus is a cunt T-shirt. So it's like whoever's doing the job, whoever's filtering these bands is doing a terrible job because they're letting in some pretty offensive stuff.
Filth is so tiny or something. It looks like a Mickey Mouse.
He just slid it right under the radar, yeah. So I don't know. It's true that it happened, and I still, to this day, don't know why. And we had to just not play the show. So we played like the shittiest show ever, like, 30 minutes away from the Amon Amarth and Enslaved in this tiny little crap bar, and 5 people showed up because everyone's at the Amon Amarth show. We should have just gone to the show.
On Facebook, I've seen a series called View from the Van. Could you explain what people have to see there?
It's all, I'm bored, so I take pictures out of the van and I write hashtag view from the van and I post it. That's why I call it our mildly popular series. It's not wildly popular, it's pretty boring. But it's what we're seeing, it's what we're up to. So sometimes I get crazy and the view from the van is actually inside the van, but we're in the van, so it's still from the van. It's wild.
Insane.
Those are the crazy days.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's just out the window. Just stuff we're seeing. It's what it looks like over here.
Yeah.
Sometimes people in the U.S. like to see like a really cool castle or maybe mountains, like the Swiss Alps.
Yeah, why not?
Sure. Yeah, I mean it's better than looking at pictures of us all the time. At least there's something beautiful to look at. The Swiss Alps. Yeah, exactly.
And the fan art, was there a tattoo or a drawing which was really amazing and kept you in mind?
It's always crazy when you say fan art.
Fan art, yeah.
When people get tattoos of like our album covers and artwork is awesome. John Baisley from Baroness, you know this band?
No.
He sings and plays guitar in a band called Baroness, and he's done several of our album covers, and his art's incredible. And we've seen a lot of really good tattoos.
I know it actually, I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay.
I didn't understand you.
I'm sorry. So it's always cool when someone gets a John Baisley tattoo because it's so intricate that either it's awesome and it's a really good tattoo, or it's just terrible because his art is so good and it's hard to tattoo. So we've seen both. But I appreciate it no matter what. Even if it's not the best tattoo, it is the best tattoo because it's skeleton return.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for the interview.
You're welcome. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.